Hey everyone, welcome back to MetalDisciple.com's 365 Days of Metal. My name is George and this is day 289. Recently, I covered the latest Evil album, and in doing so, I made a rather foolish conjecture about the new Trivium album. I made that statement based on the strength, or rather the apparent lack of strength, of the two tracks I had heard from Vengeance Falls by that point. I have since had occasion to hear the rest of the album, and I gotta say, damn, Trivium is back in a big way. So, here you go. Vengeance Falls. I first came across Trivium somewhere between their first and second album. I saw them open a show on the, I assume, Ember to Inferno tour, and they blew me away. In the years since then, I've enjoyed watching the band grow and become more popular, and have always liked their latest album more than their previous. With one exception. 2008's Shogun was an incredible release and remains my favorite Trivium album. But then they followed up in 2011 with In Waves. In Waves isn't necessarily a bad album, but it just did nothing for me and could not hold my attention. At this point, I started to sour on the band. I know, where's the loyalty, right? Music is a fickle business. So when I heard Brave This Storm and Vengeance Falls, the first two tracks off the new album, and they didn't immediately blow me away, I figured we were getting served up some more In Waves. I was also pretty skeptical of David Draiman from Disturbed producing the album. I like Disturbed and all, but apples and oranges, man. Two very different things, and I was afraid Draiman would influence the Trivium sound poorly. Turns out Draiman was just what Trivium needed. I feel like I can hear a little Disturbed influence in Brave This Storm, but otherwise I think David did a good job of melding the band's heavy nature with the melodic aspect of Shogun that was kind of lacking on In Waves. Trivium is a pretty heavy band, but you have to admit they're not exactly extreme metal. They have a commercial element about them that probably makes the true cult elite scream sellout. I don't agree with that, however. Metalcore is complete sellout corporate bullshit, but Trivium plays heavy, technical metal that balances punishing beats, technical music, and somewhat catchy vocals. Therein lies my problem with In Waves. It may seem odd coming from me, but I didn't find In Waves catchy enough. It didn't balance the heavy with the catchy. Not enough to work for me anyway. A while back, Matt took on a Hetfield-like quality with his vocals that I loved. He also does some respectable harsh vocals. Combined, these two made for a great listening experience. On In Waves, I just wasn't getting that. On Vengeance Falls, I don't hear so much of the Hetfield anymore, but Matt does a better job of creating gruff yet catchy vocals that blend well with the rest. The way I see it, Trivium know how to handle melody without using it as a requisite tool for selling records. It is more of an embellishment than the rule, and that works for me. It's also about intent. Metalcore bands are pretty transparent about catering the heavy aspect of their music to the rebellious youth while writing shitty, catchy choruses to appeal to those same kids that can't hack true extreme music. It's packaged garbage. If you have to have that pretty chorus to like a band, then it's kind of just fake posturing. But if you can enjoy the extremist of metal and still have a place in your blackened heart for a genuine, well-crafted melody, which is included for the betterment of the song, that is the best of both worlds, my friends. Anyway, rants and retractions aside, the thing you should take away from today's post is that the new Trivium is pretty good. And in the context of the album, and with repeated plays, I'm even enjoying those first two tracks now. So, check out Vengeance Falls. I've got some tracks for you in a playlist if you are so inclined. I will, of course, be back tomorrow with more metal. See ya.